Welcome back to another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. I'm host Lawson Turner as always, and we I don't know how to describe that Boston game last night. I like Boston was in firm control. Recap: Boston wins in overtime, 133 to 128 over the Indiana Pacers, and take Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But a game like this is the reason why I don't think Boston will win the championship this year. like they were begging in Indy to take this game. They threw it on a silver platter and said, Tyrese, Pascal, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin off the bench, please take this game from us. And they didn't. They were up 3 with under 30 seconds to go twice. And this was it. To me, the biggest thing was it showed the youth of the Pacers because you have Halliburton dribble it off his leg, and then you have just a they have a timeout with 10 seconds left, and Andrew Nimhart throws a bad pass to Pascal Siakam that gets tipped off Pascal's fingertips, and then Jaylen Brown smacks a three, forces overtime. The It makes me realize because I was saying when I was watching the game when no one was open and Nimhart was just kind of holding it with 10 seconds left. They have a timeout. I'm like, timeout, time, and that's on Rick Carlisle, that's on Andrew Nimhart, but more on the coach. It I, it this if Boston would have lost game 1, it would have shook the NBA world last night because they'd been like, well, Boston has been shaky at home in the postseason over the past 3 years, and Indiana goes in there and beats them and takes game 1. Now, granted, Boston's 0 for 2 in game 2s this postseason, but I think that it's so tough because Jason Tatum played. Stat line was fantastic: 36 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Fantastic stat line. He shot 12 of 26, and he wasn't great in the fourth quarter. He went 0 for 4 over the last 9.5 minutes, and he wasn't good to start overtime. And then as overtime goes, he gets an and one. He hits a massive three, and they sneak out of there with the win. I thought Jaylen Brown was excellent to start and hit that clutch three to force overtime. He ended the game with 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Drew Holiday, I thought, was another giant catalyst. It's great to see Drew finally start to get his shot to go down, because when you look at his numbers through the first, series and a half, he had been he had left so much to be desired on offense because he wasn't efficient. He wasn't taking a lot of shots. But over the towards the tail end of the Cleveland series and Game 1 last night, he played fantastic on offense. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals, and was very efficient at 10 for 16. And once again, he's picking up Tyrese Halliburton on the other side. He's picking up, the if it's not Tyrese, then he's picking up Nimhard or Neesmith until he fouled out in overtime. What it showed to me that Tyrese Halliburton went. There was a possession late in the fourth quarter where Drew Holiday, I can't remember if it was towards the tail end of the fourth or overtime, where Drew had Tyrese one-on-one on the left wing, and he just had him in hell. And he forced a turnover because Tyrese just couldn't get a lick of separation and forced a turnover. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from what Tyrese Halliburton did because I did think he played a overall good game, but he didn't come through in the clutch like Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics ended up doing. Not to take anything away from he was fantastic through 3 quarters. I thought him and key runs and contributions from Miles Turner and Obi Toppin really kept them in the game because Boston came out like we're here to punch this young team in the face because they started the game up 10 zip, and then it was a late first quarter surge by Obi Toppin off the bench, which we're going to get into here in a little bit, that really brought the Pacers back into it. And then, lo and behold, Boston goes back up by double digits, and then a Miles Turner flurry in the second quarter, and Tyrese Halliburton almost buzzer beaters from the second and third quarter, and it's like this game is scary close. This game is scary close to where it could be anyone's game, but like I said, Boston's just a more talented team. They have more star and superstar players than the Pacers do. I don't know if they have a superstar. I would consider Tyrese Haliburton a star and a fringe superstar, but the thing to me, it's like we needed we I'm saying we as if I was a Pacer fan. They needed Tyrese Haliburton to come through one more time. Now, I want to get into the three that Jaylen Brown hit. In real time, I'm screaming foul. Now, Derek White set a great screen that I don't know why the Pacers didn't switch. TJ McConnell stayed on to Derek White and didn't give Pascal a second to, because Pascal was late on rotation to Jaylen Brown in the corner, and Jaylen Brown pump faked to, try and get Pascal in the air. The second Brown pump faked and brought the ball back down, I thought, just wrap him. Just grab him. Just grab him. And it's a tale as almost as old as basketball. Up three with 10, 15 seconds or under. Now, in this case, it was, I want to say it was 10.4 on the clock. But it's like, seeing that, I'm not one to sit there and see and watch that ball go up. Because we've seen too many times where that happens. We saw that just in the first round of the Knicks Sixer series. Tyrese Haliburton brings the ball all the way up the court. And now, granted, high difficulty shot making has never been better in the NBA, but these guys are too skilled on the offensive end. They're way too skilled. Jaylen Brown got it was good defense, but it doesn't matter how good defense you play, because if they make the shot and it's better offense, all you can do is this: tip your cap. If it's me personally, I'm making it a free throw shooting contest. Now, let's dive into free throws. Indiana shot 10 free throws. 10 for the entire game. All four quarters and 5 minutes of overtime. And they made 9 of them. That's fantastic. Boston shot 30 free throws. 30. Now, Boston's the more physical team to their style, can be more get to the rim and chuck up threes, as opposed to when we see the Pacers there, a lot of perimeter, a lot of get out and run in transition. There's a lot of things that the Pacers do well that I thought could give Boston a little bit of trouble. Now, Boston outscored them in fast break points last night, which it wasn't a surprise to me, because the core is still relatively young for Boston. That, I mean, other than Drew Holiday and Al Horford, those are the older guys of the starting five. But even then, like, everything that Boston, I take that back. Everything Indiana wanted, they got. Like, they dominated the bench, scoring 30 to 13. I apologize. They made 3 less threes than Boston, but shot a higher percentage from the floor. They shot a higher percentage from three. Obviously, you don't. Obviously, I assumed Boston would get not a better whistle this game, even though they're at home. But I through the totality of the series, I assume Boston's just going to naturally get more free throws. But the discrepancy to be 20 is kind of crazy to me. When I was watching, I didn't notice it till after the fact, and I went and I was like, damn, Boston shot 30 free throws to Indy's 10. I don't know. Another big thing for me, Indiana had 21 turnovers. Boston had 14. And when you look at the points off those turnovers, Indiana had scored 21 points off Boston's 14 turnovers. And off Indiana's 21 turnovers, Boston scored 32 points. Now, I want to see how the Pacers bounce back, because this is a damn heartbreaker. This is a legit heartbreaker, because, like I mentioned at the start, Boston was begging, please, Indiana, take this. Take it from us. And they didn't. I don't know if it was they didn't step up to the challenge. I don't know if it was a little bit of the youth. That's what I'm attesting it to. It was just a young team that wasn't ready to go into Boston and steal home court and steal game one. Because if they would have taken game one, like I said, it would have been like, holy shit, can Indiana actually do this? Can they pull off a potential upset? Do we give them more of a puncher's chance? And it felt like the series. Obviously, it's a 7 game series. Anything can happen, but it felt like that's why Indy will crumble. Not necessarily crumble, but they're going to end up losing this series. I expect Boston to bounce back in game two. I expect them to keep the pedal to the metal. If they come out 10-zip again, I expect, Boston to keep bumping their chest out and saying, no mas. This isn't going to happen again. No. I, I thought it was a fantastic game, too. From top to bottom, it was a fantastic game, and I cannot wait for game two. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this episode of the Cover 2 podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. Link will also be in the description to make it a little bit easier for you guys to find. As always, I'm Lawson Turner for the Cover 2 podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.